Hello, welcome to Starlight Talks. How's everyone doing today? Hey, so Starlight Talks is a live stream I do related to autism, and this week I'm going to talk about validation and invalidation. So, I do these talks every Wednesday at 7 Pacific Standard Time. So come back next week and I'll have another one planned, and you can go view all the other episodes on the Autism Facebook page and click on videos. So check out artisan.com for all of our cool events coming up. We have game nights and movie nights and support groups and meditations. And check out our other new show that has to do with community. Yeah, and if you please feel free to comment and ask questions. I love to interact with you guys. Cool. I think that's everything. So this week I'm talking about validation and invalidation, which I'm bringing up because it's very relevant to me right now because I have chronic fatigue, and right now I'm in one of the cycles of heavy fatigue where for long periods of time I sleep and I have no control over that, where I'm so exhausted I fall asleep pretty much anywhere. So I've been in and out of sleep like every 3 hours or so, which can be really frustrating, and also one of the hard parts about having the fatigue is the invalidation, where I'll explain what I'm feeling to someone, how frustrating it is for me that I'm sleeping all day and not able to do the things I really want to do. And people will be like, oh, I wish I could sleep all weekend, and things like that. And so that can be really frustrating because that's like not what I'm trying to say, and it's hard to relate to people, and that invalidation can be really emotional and really tough. And I think those of us with autism, especially because what we're going through is hard to relate to, we can get a lot of invalidation from the world around us and from people who just don't understand what we're going through. So we get a lot of judgments of you're lazy, you're unmotivated, you're rude, all these kind of things that aren't true, because people don't understand what's actually going on because they've never been through it and they will never be going through it. And especially if you have a comorbidity on top of that, which is a second diagnosis or even a third diagnosis of something that is all affecting each other and happening together, it can be super, super frustrating because it can feel so isolating in that people don't understand you. So it's important to find validation in yourself, or find people that really get it and validate it, which is why things like support groups are so important to so many people. Autism support groups, women's support groups, LGBT support groups, all different kinds of groups that validate what you're going through, that relate to different things you experience, especially if you're being invalidated. Hi, Haley, thank you for watching. Yeah, please comment, let me know if you're watching. I'm talking about validation and invalidation if you're just joining. So, with my with autism and with my fatigue, I've definitely experienced a lot uh, of that kind of thing, that invalidation and people not getting it, and that can be really, really, really tough emotionally, really, really tough on your mental health. You can even start questioning yourself and start believing that invalidation. So when I am going through a really tough time, my capacity changes and my ability to do things, which happens with autism, which happens with my fatigue. So some days I seem, like I'm able to take on the world, which is a lot of the persona most of the world sees, because the days that I'm not doing well, I often stay in my room or stay in my house, and most people don't see those days, and so they only see the version of me that's like really a go-getter and a fun time and very productive. They don't often get to see the version of me that is having a bad day, and so they'll start validating that I have autism and I have chronic fatigue, because in their presence I don't have it in the way that they perceive it, and I don't react to things in the way that I should. Like commonly there's this perception that someone who's sick or someone who's suffering should always be sad and upset and be having a tough time and should never be laughing and should never be, productive. And especially if you have something that's chronic and lifelong, that cannot be the case for you all the time. So you have to, everyone laughs and everyone cries. So if you have autism or you have fatigue or you have a comorbidity or dietary restrictions, or anything affecting your health or a disability, there's going to be good days and there's going to be bad days. And people's perception of how people with that thing should act shouldn't affect whether they believe it or not. It's still real. And just because you wouldn't react that way doesn't mean someone else will react, won't react that way. We all react differently to things. And so if you see someone smiling, it doesn't mean they're not sick. It doesn't mean they're faking. All those kinds of things. Hi Sonia. Thank you for joining. Is Jacob there? Hi Jacob. Yeah. So that validation can be really important for those of us on the spectrum, especially because it's so rare that someone gets it, and I think that's why oftentimes we can be drawn to other people with autism, not necessarily because they have autism, but because of that validation, because they can relate to struggles and they can relate to validations even of achievements. So, and both validation on both things is important. It's important to validate that someone has achieved something, and it's important to validate when someone's struggling. And so it's always better to approach someone who's having a rough time. The motorcycle, I think. With, oh, I'm sorry you're struggling, and validate that instead of you should just be able to suck it up and get through it, and calling someone lazy. If someone's struggling with a concept in their homework, and like, oh, I get this is hard for you, and really validate that they're trying, rather than, oh my, just take time and figure it out. Like, most people just want that validation. It's so helpful and such a boost to have, for someone to get that validation in whatever they're going through. So I think we should all validate each other more, especially right now. And yes, how I am doing. So I covered this a little bit in the beginning. I'm having a lot of fatigue right now, and I can go into that if you would like. Right now, the way it's affecting me is that I'm sleeping and awake like every 3 hours, like sleeping for 3 hours, for 3 hours. About that, that's been happening the past couple days. My It affects my memory. So I'm not able to remember things as well when I have my fatigue. It affects my executive functioning. So I'm not able to, answer emails as quickly as I normally. So I'm a lot slower with processing things and replying and doing all the things I would normally do. So I'm at a slower pace, or not even able to do some things. I have less energy, so moving around, I get out of breath more easily, as in my heart starts racing, like you ran a marathon, doing simple things. Things just like making food exerts way more energy than it normally would. So that's what's happening right now for me, and this is just something that has been part of my life since around 7th grade, and it just can be really tough, and especially the invalidation of when I say like I can't do something because I'm tired. My tired is not the same as someone else's, and they can't relate to the extreme tired that I have, and it's very invalidating when they're like, well, I get tired too, and I just push myself through. It's like, well, you don't, pass out from how tired you are and like fall asleep on your office floor, and it's very exhausting explaining that it takes an emotional toll. Some days I just start crying, talking about having my fatigue, because it's hard to verbalize, because it takes so much emotion, because I've been invalidated so much about it, and it's tough. It's tough to deal with, and I try to stay positive, because there's nothing really that can be done about it. Oh, Jay says hello, hi. Thank you for watching, Jacob. So yeah, that's how I've been doing lately. I also, if you were on my Instagram, you saw that I got a lamp. And I made a lot of puns about destroying darkness or something like that on my Instagram. So I did that today. So got out of the house and got a lamp with my roommate Molly. I'm staying at her place right now. I had to move house for a couple days because there's workers at my place, in the sense where the noise would be too much. So that's another tough thing that's happened that I'm dealing with. So I'm staying in this room, and which is the living room, and the light is keeping her awake, so we got a lamp so I can keep that on. If I'm up at night, for my 3 or so hours I'm awake in between sleeping. So it's not the entire room. So that's why I got a lamp, but it's like, I've just been making stories up about my lamp on Instagram. And then spending a lot of time with the dogs. They've been sleeping with me. They've been taking care of me. Benji and Chewbacca. Chewbacca is my roommate Molly's dog. They make me happy. Yeah. So does anyone have any questions? I love interacting with you guys. What's there to say about validation? The medical community really likes to invalidate, and for some reason it likes to really invalidate women more than men, and I don't know why that is. There's a lot of statistics out there that show the women aren't diagnosed as often, and it's research is done more just on men because they don't want to add the reproductive system into research, which they should, because women have that. Or they blame it a lot of things, periods or emotions more so for women, which is really interesting. I don't know why some of those things are that way, but the medical community tends to have an easier time diagnosing men, and that definitely needs to change, and definitely needs to help out all minorities in being diagnosed. In general, all minorities are less likely to be diagnosed with just anything they have. But dog squeaking in his sleep is pretty cute. Might be a hiccup. You hear me? So the invalidation of going to a doctor and saying I'm having an issue, and they're saying like it's not a big deal, can be very tough to deal with. Teachers invalidating or work invalidating that you need sick days or that you need extra time to complete assignments can be really tough to deal with. So like the world around you is invalidating, whether they use the words to invalidate your actions. It definitely affects those of us with autism, and there's a mistrust that starts happening, especially with authority. So if you know about spook theory, that's important to help with validation and just keeping the right people in your life who are there for you and believe in you and validate you. And surrounding yourself by those right people who just really get it. I'm seeing a lot of jump cuts on my screen. I don't know if you guys are seeing that. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. You guys have any questions? It's really tough doing this without a guest or without comments or questions. But yeah. Validation, do it. To tell people that it's sucky what they're going through, or it's fantastic what they're going through, and tell them you love them, and it's okay to struggle, it's okay to feel emotions, it's okay to go through what they're going through, and that they're strong for dealing with what they're dealing with, and all those kind of things. It just helps. Validate. A lot of people need it, and they're not getting it. We like to see more validation in the world. I think the world will be a better place. I think we'll all be happier and get along better. Just point out things that maybe you notice it, but you haven't said it out loud. It's all important to let people know you see them and that you hear them and that you're listening and that you're paying attention to everything that they are going through and their stories. So come back next week. I do these live streams every Wednesday at 7 Pacific Standard Time. I hope to have, I guess, related to autism in the near future. And check out our social media, our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Check out artism.com for all of the free stuff we have available. Take advantage, you guys. We've got go get a consultation and sign up for Life Map or mentorships or coaching, support groups, social groups, wellness activities. We have meditation, pizza night, and game night. Well, not pizza, just game night. Game night, movie night. Support groups for adults, women, and parents. So I host the women's support group, so go do that. And then I have a couple of dates coming up in the future. I think on May 8th, I'm hosting game night, so if you sign up for that one, I'll be hosting it. That May 8th game night, I'll be hosting. May 11th, I'll be hosting movie night, and May 14th, I'll be hosting the adult support group. So grab those dates, and they'll, of course, be posted on my social media at some point if you would like to go hang out with me. Hey, Haley says that Chloe's awesome. That's me, Chloe Estelle. Thank you. Yeah, I also am a mentor if you wanted to sign up for the mentor program. So that is, I think that's everything. So thank you for joining me this week. Stay colorful and goodbye.